Hi everyone, I am here in McHenry, Illinois, going to do a tour of my first fix and flip fully completed. And here we are. So in this video, I do want to go more into detail as far as everything that I completed in this property, as my TikTok was basically 30 seconds long and I didn't go over pretty much any detail. So to start, pretty much got all new carpet all throughout. So the reason we did carpet is because the HOA did not allow me to do luxury vinyl plank because of it being on the second floor of the condominium. Pretty rare. I haven't heard that before from an HOA because there is other condominiums in the area, such as Crystal Lake, that do have units that do have the luxury vinyl plank throughout. But no worries at all. Carpet was a little bit more expensive, but it was easier to install. It took the guys about a day to do the installation, which honestly saved us a bunch of time. So as far as everything else goes, one big huge thing that we did do was knock down these pillars that were currently here, and it just looks so much better. And I had my handy guys do all the drywalling and it looks perfect, like nothing was ever there. And to start, so as far as this flooring goes, this is peel and stick tile. Would I ever buy this again? Never again. It is cheap. It cost me, I think it was like $300 to $400 for the whole thing in the foyer, kitchen, and bathrooms. Easy to install, but honestly, I mean, it looks good too, but I just rather prefer luxury vinyl plank for some areas. As far as this part goes, we painted all of the closet doors, got all new closet shelves as well. Honestly, I could have probably kept the current ones, but I just really wanted everything brand new in here, so it makes it easier for the buyer. And then as far as this goes, painted this whole thing. It was like a dark gray, so we painted this to make it an accent wall to the wall. So this is pretty similar as far as like the color scheme goes. And then got a new light there, kept the fan. To start, I really wanted to get a new fan for some reason, just to make it super modern, but honestly, this fan, it looks pretty good, and we just basically cleaned it up because it was full of dust. Painted the heater. This trim is 3.5 inches, which is honestly pretty perfect as far as like this condo goes and the size of it and the size of this trim, because if it was any higher, I don't think it really makes sense to, put in like 5 inches in there. And then as we go to the kitchen, here's all the tiling, and then here are all the cabinets. Got all these cabinets at Home Depot for roughly $2,100, so not bad. And then same with the appliances. These were all from Lowe's. This is an electric stove because this is an electric unit, and then all new there. Countertops, these are Formica, but honestly, these look really nice. I haven't seen a Formica like this before. There was a couple at Home Depot, but they just had way too much grain. And when I want to do a fix and flip, like I literally want it to be, as best as possible as far as like all the finishes go and how they look. And I do really like the style of this countertop. Dishwasher there. Really huge sink. Got this for like 150 bucks, I believe, and this was like I think 100. HomeDepot.com. Home Depot does have a lot of great deals. It honestly reminds me of Amazon as far as like all of the inventory that they do have there, which is awesome. Decided to not do backsplash on this specific one. We could have. I mean, it probably would have cost a few hundred bucks more, but honestly, it was just easier to not put it in. With the comparables as well, as far as like the whole place goes. GFCI outlet here. And then these are all the cabinets. Another thing too, so a lot of decisions were made in doing this flip, right? So we could have also, so this was the regular layout before as far as the fix and flip goes, or the condo prior. And then we could have done this all the way throughout and then done another cabinet there, but decided not to. Figured, I do want a pantry space for the next buyer, because honestly, if we just put a cabinet there would really be no pantry at all, as you can see from all the cabinets. And I did take out this trash compactor. Looks a lot better. And then in the kitchen also, we did have my guys do some molding around here. This is like a quarter round. It makes it just nice and finished. And then this is all new fridge. Did keep the washer and dryer because this is in perfect condition. Bathroom, everything new. So I do want to show you, this is the vanity. And we got all new plumbing all throughout here because that really needed it pretty bad. And then Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards. And here, pretty much I was able to rip down most of all of this drywall that was needed to do this tub surround. So I did have my handy guys install all of this as well as the fixtures. Did keep the tub. So my prior video, we were thinking of getting a whole new tub for, I don't know what reason. I mean, it was pretty grimy as far as like the last one goes, but we did clean this up. This is cast iron as well, so this would just take forever to break and get a new one installed. And it's pretty heavy. So that would be just a lot easier to keep that. Bedroom's pretty simple. Carpet. Got this painted, and this is just storage in here. And then all the doors painted 2 notches down from the wall color. I did want to go a little bit darker because I don't know, for me, like when I'm doing a property, I don't want it to be like standard, right? So like when I'm doing this stuff, I don't want just, all white. That's why I wanted to do 2 notches down from the wall color as far as this, these doors go. It's kind of hard to see in there because there's really no light, but yeah, I didn't want to do all white in there at all. And then same thing here, closet. Yeah, bedroom is pretty standard. Got all new hinges as well. Oh my, another thing too, if you're ever walking a fix and flip or a potential like fixer upper, a lot of the times these people, I don't know why they're working on it, but these people, they paint over the hinges, which honestly is just so bad. I see it all the time, even when I'm walking with buyers through homes, they always just paint over it, and no, that's just not gonna happen when I'm doing my renovations. So closet, this is a really big bedroom. Honestly, you could fit probably a king size in here, either on that side or this side. And then bathroom, pretty weird layout. I've never been in a layout like this where the full bathroom is right next to the kitchen and there's no shower in here. So this is the first time ever seeing this. It'd be cool if there was a shower in here because the resale value would have been higher, but no worries. This is basically just a closet, and then we said to not do a shelf in here. All right, sorry, don't know what happened there, but as I was saying, so new toilet, and then same thing is all in here, all new plumbing because this plumbing was pretty rough. So the plumbing and the electrical was pretty rough, and it did cost me a lot of money. So in here as well, in the other bathroom, it was just a mirror, and the outlet was in the mirror. There was no GFCI, so we did have to install one in here and then the other bathroom, which did cost a pretty penny. But other than that, no worries. This is pretty much the tour of the whole condo. All right, and that is a whole tour of my first fix and flip fully completed. We are under contract right now, so I did want to film a video, as my last video was 4 months ago, and that was when I initially purchased this condo. And looking back from that video to this one, huge improvement. I learned a lot, so much knowledge as far as like, what to buy, what to do as far as like ripping out all of the carpet, the tack strips. Just so much learned, how to paint the ceilings. Was this one of the hardest things I've done in my life? Yes, it is. And I believe because I decided to do most of the front end work by myself, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to learn, right? That was the one thing. Could I have hired handyman to do all of the work that I did? Yes, but on the first one, I did want to learn. So that was, my decision there. But definitely one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. Mentally, I was here a lot of hours, but I do value that because now my next property is going to be so much easier because I already know so much more. But thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, as I'm going to be buying another one in the next few months.